Transfer deadline day today. There are some people leaving and some people joining. Let's see who they are. Yes, hello, welcome into Living Sports here for another episode of Glory Hunter on Football Manager 22. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Football Manager content Monday to Friday at 11 AM. And if you haven't seen the last episode, go and check it out. We played 2 league games, one up against Juventus, one up against SerieA, and it maybe didn't quite go as planned. Go and see what I mean, and you can come back for this one. You can see we are starting deadline day today, and we are going to take part, and it turns yellow, and here we are, ready for deadline day. There's talks of Cabral going to Milan, Tammy Abraham going to Manchester United, and for some reason, they seem to think I might be signing Nicholas Otamendi. 34 years of age, very decent player, looks like, in terms of his stats here on Football Manager. Never know, maybe I will if I need yet another left-footed centre-back. But I just say he's right-footed. I always thought Otamendi was left-footed. Shows you what I know. Other rumours that are going about just now involving our players. Brian Cristante maybe going to Southampton. Us maybe going to sign Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Matteo Guendouzi from Arsenal. I mean, I don't have any intention of that at the moment, but you never know. Maybe we'll bring someone in. Maybe a loan's likely, and it's only going to be Maitland-Niles maybe coming in should we sell someone who's not from the EU, because England no longer in the EU, so he counts as a non-EU player, hence Tammy counts as one of those for us. But maybe Guendouzi to cover some midfield options, maybe on a loan. Who knows? Let's advance on, and we'll let you know if there's any interesting offers that are made for our players, any interesting offers that are made by agents for us to offer for some of their players. 14 hours to go, and we'll see what happens. So here we go, some players being offered to us. Ego Aspas, probably not the 35-year-old striker. Probably also not Miguel Almiron. I apologise. This is interesting. Man United have made a loan approach for Tammy Abraham, and then they also want to have a future fee of £35 million, and then some add-ons after that as well. 35 up to, I can't do the maths, there's not enough. What, an extra 10, 15, 20 million maybe in there? I mean, no. As simple as that. I'm going to reject that. And AC Milan have also made a loan offer for Eduardo Zola, our left wing back, with a mandatory future fee of 10 million in there as well. I mean, a little bit of me thinks that's maybe not too bad a price. Me thinks Eduardo Zola, they're 29 years of age. He's all right as a left wing back there. Perhaps not the best, but I think he's a solid enough player for us. If you look at his history playing for us, 6.9 this season and the last season. It's probably not enough money. We certainly don't want to just have him out on loan there. £10 million. We wouldn't get any money into the club just now to replace him. So it's probably a no at the moment. We'll see if they offer something better. But there's 13 hours remaining, and we'll see what else comes in. Maybe a slightly strange one here is Inter Milan have signed Rob Holding, which seems like a strange waste of their non-EU slots, but sure, if they want to use one on him. And Florenzi, as we can see here, is indeed being sold to Porto. So we no longer have him as our option at right back. We've got 2.8 million being added to our budget. Pellegrini's not happy that we sold him. What do you want to say? There's been concerns over the departure, but the fact that I'm going to talk to him about it is making him happy. Good. Seeing as he's our captain, I don't want him being unhappy. If we look at our finances, it means we've got £3.5 million available. In our wage budget, there's a couple of £100,000 in there as well. So we'll need to have a look through some people and see if we can bring in someone to cover that right back slot. So a couple of interesting bits of transfer news here. Cristante has an offer from Juventus for a loan. We'll say no to that. But we have made a signing at right back. And it is Audrey Zola, Audrey Zola, the right back from Real Madrid. And he can come in to replace Florenzi, who went out. You can see a very well-rounded player. Some nice pace there. Crossing 14, dribbling 13. He's going forward very good. Defending, maybe marking a 12. Tackling a 12. Could maybe do a little bit better than that. But he's positioning 13, teamwork's 15, work rate's 15. I think he's a very solid, well-rounded player for us. Happily fill in that right wing-back position for us. He's initially going to join in on loan, and we're going to buy him for £5.5 million at the end of that loan. I think we might take up that option if we have the ability to do it. You can see he's a very, very solid player. We'll see how he does, but coming in on loan, it means we've got two loanees as our options at right back. Lazaro, who's not impressed so far this season, and Audrey Zola now, who's probably going to come in and be the starter. So Audrey Zola signs here. As you can see, everyone's fairly happy with the loan sign. You can see as well, we did have an offer in for Timo Werner, but they were asking for a lot of his wages, £250,000 worth of it, and it didn't work. We ended up having to pay a large monthly fee and we couldn't afford it, so hence we have cancelled the deal for Werner. I did like the idea of Timo Werner. If we can somehow get this to be alive again, this deal, it'd be good. They were also wanting an optional fee of £3 million, and that's not a lot of money for Werner, seeing as he was bought for 47 just a few seasons ago. I was hoping we can maybe get him in on loan to begin with, but they want us to pay all of his wages, and we just can't afford that at the moment. Here is a big move we are going to bring in on loan here on transfer deadline day to add to our midfield options. Eduardo Kamavanga, the central midfield player, currently with Real Madrid. He's moved there, remember, from Rennes at the start of this year's game. We are signing him on a 2-year loan deal. Yes, that's 2 years with the option to pay £77 million to bring him in on a permanent deal. That is a pretty decent loan signing, I would say. In fact, you get him for 2 years as well. Now, we might not need him for 2 years. We might not still be here in those 2 years. But that, to me, I think that's a cracking signing. We'll ask him to welcome Kamavanga to the club. A brilliant player. The option to have him for £77 million. That could be a steal. I know it doesn't sound like it could be, but that could be an absolute steal by the time he's developed into what could be one of the world's best midfield players. See his contract here until the end of 2024 season. Yeah, that's we've also removed the chance that Real Madrid can recall him, so he can't be recalled. He's here for 2 years, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in that midfield. We're paying him 145 grand a week. It's a lot of money for him. He's almost certainly going to start in that midfield role, probably replacing Tolisso. I imagine Veretout and Pellegrini and Kamavanga as the 3 central midfield players for us when we play those 3 in midfield. Oh, I'm looking forward to using Kamavanga. I think it's going to be great. And here we go. This is likely going to be our last signing of the window. I mentioned right at the start, Otamendi. We don't need Otamendi. And the more I looked at him, I thought, he's quite good. He's got lots of great mental stats there. He perhaps can't run anymore with 9 and 8 for his pace and acceleration, but marking 17, tackling 16, heading 15, positioning of 14. Got great work rate and teamwork and determination and leadership and bravery and aggression and anticipation. He's actually a really good centre-half still. So we've signed him. £500,000 is going to cost us, and then there's a couple of £1 million of instalments as well to get him from Benfica. You can see our scouts think he'd be a quality sign. I think so as well. We had a very good year last year at Benfica. You can see he played 30 times, 7.23 average rating. Again, very solid centre-back. Probably going to be competing for a starting centre-back job. And if we're going to go with 3 at the back, then we needed a little bit more depth in centre-back as well after we got rid of some. So yes, happy for Otamendi to be here. We have an out as well, finally, here on Transfer Deadline Day. Ibanez, who I'm sure you remember from last year, he played a few games for us. He's not really been part of the team this year. We have sold him to Colne for just short of £10 million. He's 23 years of age, the Brazilian. He's not that great. His physicals look quite good over there. His heading's really good. The stats look really good. But when he played for us, he just wasn't that great. He didn't play well as a ball winner. They think he'd be a great signing for us. the scouts, for some reason, he just didn't play very well when he played with us. So we've got rid of Ibanez. Sorry if any of you liked Ibanez, if he was one of your favourites. He's away for 10 million, brought some money into the club. Atalanta do get 10% of that money, however, which is a little bit annoying. If we look at the finances now, finances is the one I want to best. We do have 4 million left in the budget, but we are currently spending over on the wage, so I don't think we're going to bring anyone else in. There's a chance we might, but I don't think we will. But with just 45 minutes remaining, it doesn't look like we're going to. No, indeed, the transfer window has closed. Slammed shut, you would say. And you can see we are now the second biggest spenders in terms of salary per year. 2.7, more than Inter. It's only Juventus are spending more than us. You can see the biggest spenders were Inter, £125 million, including bringing in Serginho Dest from Barcelona. Biggest deadline deal was Di Lorenzo moving from Napoli to Man United. And yet again, Atalanta getting rid of players. They had 80-something the last time we did this. 27 players out in the transfer window. Very, very active for them indeed. Let's have a look at the team now. We've made those signings that we've brought in. We've sold some players as well. And we'll show you how the team's going to line up now for at least the next few months until the transfer window. So if everyone's fit, this is probably going to be the team we're going to go for. I think going 4 at the back is probably the way to play. We haven't played particularly well this season with 5 at the back. So Patricio's still going to be in goal. Otamendi and Romagnoli is probably going to be our partnership. We might have Zagadou or Guijo at centre-back, but Romagnoli and Otamendi, that's a very, very solid centre-back partnership. Spinazzola on the left, and Audrey Zola will get the game on the right. The two Zolas for us in the wing-back positions. Veretout behind Pellegrini and Kamavanga. Very solid 3 midfield. Zaniolo on the right, Kluivert on the left, Tammy Abraham up front. That is probably going to be our team now that this transfer window's done. We've got great players to come off the bench. Folk in defence, Guijo, Zagadou, Desquiglio there, Tolisso, Cristante, Ceballos, Palma, Isco in midfield, Thielman and Cabral and Sesko up front. We've got a strong squad. I think we can battle on all fronts. We just need to play well, because a lot of the time we just don't play well and it's very frustrating. So play well, win games, and we've got a chance. If you look at the competitions, because of those 2 defeats in today's or yesterday's episode, I should say, we're all the way down in 11th place. Saying that, a win would take us up to 5th, so we're not too far off, but we are already 8 points behind Inter Milan at this early stage, which is not ideal. We're actually closer to getting relegated than we are to being winning the league, which is worrying. So we need to turn this around in the next few episodes, and that will start with the next episode, and we're going to show you some of these Europa League group stage games. We're going to have the game against Copenhagen and the game against Espanyol. 2 games in the Europa League. We'll have played the game against Fiorentina between now and then. We'll show you how we're getting on in that Europa League. Two tough games. I think they might be tougher than Ludogorets. That's my opinion, even though Espanyol were the bottom seed. But the games against Copenhagen and Espanyol will be the next episode, and I hope you are looking forward to that one. This one, no games in this, just talking through the transfer window, seeing what's going on. I hope it was interesting for you to see stuff happen as it happens, and I think we've made some pretty decent signings. I mean, Kamavanga, with the option to buy him for 77 million, that could be a very, very cheap loan deal, a very cheap permanent signing should we eventually sign him for 77 million. But in all honesty, I'm hoping I'm not still at Roma at the end of those 2 seasons. Hopefully we'll have won the stuff we need to here in Italy, and we could have moved on. So if you have enjoyed this episode, a little transfer special, it's always fun, please do leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until the next one where we start our Europa League campaign, we'll see you then.